with another game of Total Warhammer 3. We're doing the Malakai campaign again. It's the second episode of it. I'm very excited. So it is hard times for us here, but we do have access to a couple of new regiments of renown. The Brotherhood of Grimnir, which are real heavy hitter Doomseeker specialty guys. And we'll probably try to get them in eventually. So, you know, our hold is in ruins, essentially. We have no idea if old Whitebeard here is even going to be able to survive to defend it. But it looks like maybe our foes are going to be happy with just burning down our holds. And, yeah, it's got that devastated thing on it. So I guess, yeah, Khorne burns it down, and then it takes a little while till you could ever do it again. But if we can just defend this long enough to get the walls up, which we should be able to do, you know, we'll might be able to weather the storms all the same. All right, so what we want to do is do this quest battle, right? We hit level 20 here. These ones up top. Vigor reduction, I mean, pretty good. These, though, do I have any... Yeah, we should take the artillery boost for the rank 7 guys. This is going to make them much stronger for our gold artillery. So what we want to do is try to stabilize the hold a little bit. I mean, we could. We don't want to just abandon it. I do want to move down over in this direction and deal with Azog and try to reconnect with the dwarves. But if we can stabilize our hold first and beat back Throg a little bit, then that would be good. What to do? You know, we're just going to do the quest battle, because that is what the title is. And then we'll worry about the other stuff. How's that? We've got all the good abilities. There's just a couple here, which we'll do that for Oathgold or whatever. But, so this will let me see if we're going to be able to beat the thing. Hello, Sinsolus. And then still be able to get the mission reward for the later quests, and because that way we can go ahead and see that for the future. But this will be good. This will be the Spirit of Grungi will give us leadership, and then like basically restore the vigor of everyone on the whole battlefield when it's out, and then we'll get an item. It's fine. These abilities are okay, but we're just gonna go and try this battle now. Let's see how it's going to be. Have I beat Club Step? No, I have not. I haven't been back to Club Step in a bit. We'll give the Strider to these Slayers, I guess? I don't know. Alright, so here's our battle. A named Sun Dragon, which is just like a normal one, I think. And then another Sun Dragon. And then a named... Level 5 Sun Dragon who's got, you know, 13,000 hit points, bonus versus infantry, uses spells. No, he has an automatic Flaming Sword of Ruin all the time in his AoE. Alright, so we've got cavalry, we've got chariots to deal with, we've got 4 archers, and then swordmasters, and a wizard on horseback. It shouldn't be impossible. We're going to need to be careful about the dragons. That dragon will lose to Gotrek and some Slayers, so we just need to make sure that we've got Gotrek and some Slayers left whenever it comes down. Alright, so what's the quest text? No longer shall the draconic mounts of the haughty dragon princes wreak devastation upon the innocent. Malakai McKyson must settle the score or die trying. Dragon riders rally in defense of the beast he has come to slay, and others that accompany him, and it went too fast for me to read. And unfortunately, his speech here is cut, like, quieter, because it's the same voice as it is in the battlefield if you click, so I don't have it mixed too high. Look, Elgi on their fancy ponies. Time for some target practice. Whoa, that's a big lizard. Ready the cannons, Dawi. Gold for the one who takes its eye out. I'm not very good at doing the accent. Alright, so the dragon is not here yet. We'll expect it to come somewhere on the battlefield. What we'll want to do is get our artillery, like, here, basically. This is going to have this huge crater protecting our flank, and then we can just have like a couple Slayers there. Because the alternative is all the way over here, which is fine too. I like this better because more of their army is on that side. So we're just going to go ahead, get our Air Force overhead there. We need to get our Gotrek and Felix. We're just going to put them a bit forward of them, right? And that'll cover all of that. We'll have Slayers here. Brotherhood of Grimnir there to back us up. We'll have the cookery going on. Slayer Pirates for the backfield. Thunderers behind the artillery. Garagrim in the front. We'll just, of course, have Malakai right there centered up. We're just going to have Slayers layered there. Ulrika's not in best of form. Yeah, this should be fine. The very front of the front line doesn't exist, though, so we'll move this Slayer up there. Start the battle, we'll move here. Alright, so we're supposed to clear out the forces before the dragons arrive. We're gonna do it, you know, it's gonna be fine. These chariots do have, like, shots, I guess, but what we're gonna do is, because these Trollhammer torpedoes have a super long reload time, we're just going to zoom up, get a shot in on, like, these Dragon Princes, maybe. They have fire resist, don't they? 25. The torpedoes are fire damage, so they're going to be reduced by that amount, but... Dragon Princes are, like, elite shot cavalry, so if we get a couple nice hits off on them here, just like a brutal salvo, does a ton of damage, and now we can go ahead and get back around. So we don't need our guys to get, you know, softened up here or anything. All right, our cannons are shooting into spears, which is bad. We need to be hitting these Swordmasters. Swordmasters are elite, so that'll be what we want to do. As soon as these archers get in range of the flame cannon, it's gonna be, you know, just a bunch of cookery going on. We're gonna go ahead and get our Trollhammer torpedoes healed all the way back up. They were in no real danger. And we're going to go ahead, turn around, get a salvo on. Gotrek and Felix are fighting. Oh my goodness. He's getting chunked by these Swordmasters. But it shouldn't go on for too long. He might have also... I might have hit my own guys with a cannon, you know. That could have been what it was. And our Slayer's getting dunked on there. And I don't think our artillery is doing well at all. Felix is absolutely losing this fight against the Swordmasters. This is bad all around. Garagrim is losing his fight. I might be losing here. What to do? We'll drop the Spirit of Grungi down. That'll show us the way. And then we're just gonna hit a pendulum here. Could have been better. Alright. Garagrim is probably actually dying to these Swordmasters. That is super rough. It's our own fault for leaving him unsupported. Of course, Almost Dead is not dead. And there we go, a huge shot coming in there from the Spirit of Grungi, weakening them a little bit. But the problem is, right, that first of all, our artillery is sort of like, yeah, it's like the other problem which we're about to experience as the dragons are still coming. Alright, the dragons are all the way over there. So what we need to do is get our troll hammers back. Man, they are in bad shape. I am playing so terribly. You know, we might be able to get away with it anyway. Because Garagrim needs to get in here. He's got 500 HP, right? So all we gotta do is do something about that. The problem is... Alright, so now we need to get in on these dragons, right? And we need to very specifically shoot them, because if they get in on Gotrek and Felix, like, they'll probably die, right? They hit really, really hard. But if we can get... into better spots with all of our army here, because we've still got like a ton of slayers, right? The airship is dying here. It'll come right back, right? No one's gonna hurt the airship forever. Alright, moment of truth. They are about to get on top of us. They are about to a huge death breath into the Doomseekers. It actually does less than I might have feared. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get the shots in. Okay, yeah, never mind. They are absolutely dunking on this Sun Dragon. Oh my god. This Trollhammer Torpedo, that's where it's at. Okay. Unfortunately, they are on the cannon right now. We're going to be able to get all the black powder to bear, though. And this is where, like, Dowie powder dominance comes in, right? Because if there's a big target and they are sitting relatively still, it almost doesn't matter how strong they are. They're not going to be able to put up with a massive amount of armor-piercing shots. They'll have some resistance, maybe. Get in there, Gotrek. Why can't I see the dragon in front of me? This is not cinematic. Alright, we did it. We barely saw it, but we did it. Good for us. Alright, we killed the dragon and they all fled. A rough fight, but hey, it was a legendary battle. Looks like Garagrim went down for the count. You know, we sent him out unsupported, so he didn't have the benefits of being there with Gotrek and Felix to soak up other fight, and he got into a fight with an elite infantry blob, and, you know, paid the price, but we'll be able to get him back eventually, I'm sure. And, of course, falling in battle is no great shame to a Slayer. So where did our value come from? We got 2,500 from the Troll Hammers. We got 2,100 from the Flame Cannon. And that'll be basically who did all of the damage in the whole fight. Yep. Clumsy, you know. Very clumsy. We're going to take the Oath Gold and the money. Yeah. Because we're not going to be getting in another fight like this day, and the other ones are kind of far away, and our other people should be fine. But now we get the cloaks, which there'll be an ancillary to do, I imagine. Yes. Alright, so we're just going to move over in this direction. That was excellent. Alright, so now we're level 22. We get... Yeah, we'll take this one for the ranged units, and then this one for the slayers to... Yeah, we'll take all of these, because having your rank 7 guys get a huge boost is excellent, and we're right about getting there. And then from the here on, we're probably going to take the blue line, which will get us... 20 block chance? I mean, it feels good. Are we going to be fighting elves, though? No, we're not. Hello, Thomas. To interject about this game. This is one of my most played game series, to the bitter end, so we get that, and now Unbreakable. I'll try to explain some stuff as I play. This is only the second time I've ever streamed it, but, like, I've got a bunch of game knowledge, but I might be lacking, in remembering what I'm supposed to explain. Alright, right now... I mean, more of a front line would be fine. We could just take Longbeards. I just don't want to, though. Like, more Slayers all the time. Yeah, more Slayers all the time. Because their weapon strength is punchy enough. I mean, it's really 20 lower, but it's punchy enough. And with 21 AP, then, who cares if they get shot up a bit. And if we're going to go fight Norska and Chaos for a second... then we really won't care at all. Alright, so we also can start another adventure, which will get us... Oh boy. Saw the last stream, but couldn't join because you're in college. Well, welcome to this one. It won't be super long, but I wanted to play some before I went to work. So this one will be based around the Goblin Hewer, and we'll fight the Greenskins. This one will be based around Gyro Bombers, which are excellent, and will be faced around the Vampires. This one, Flame Cannons and the Elves. And this one, Organ Guns and Chaos. And will give us Dig In, which gives you 40% range. Oh my goodness. Do you get that for Flame Cannons too? Yeah. Wow. And you get much stronger bombs. Flaming Bombs ammunition for Thunder Barges. Alright. So these Goblin Hewers are like siege weapons that sort of like reciprocating throw axes. They're crewed by Slayers, so they have anti-large, and they're very punchy, and they're unbreakable, and they have like a ton of hit points. What to do? So we're already on this one here. I think we go ahead and... What serves us the best, right? Goblin Hewers, I think, will let us be more aggressive because you don't have to be careful with them, and they can guard our flanks better, and they'll be very punchy. So maybe we'll go with that. Maybe, yeah. We'll start this adventure. Alright, what do we gotta do? Kill enemies with the Hewers, fight monsters, fight Greenskins. We've already completed this first one, so we get some money. Fighting them Outlands. Alright, yeah, this'll be easy enough to start getting some stuff done on. And we will be able to get a Goblin Hewer from the adventure panel before too long. Because out of this, you've only got to get the building for artillery to the second level, which we could do. We just need, a couple more days of recruiting things. But anyway, enough talking. I really need to focus on talking after I have hit the end turn button. But, yeah. So anyway, Thomas, this is a real-time strategy game set in the Warhammer fantasy world. And we have finally seen where Azag Slaughterer is at. The Empire wants a non-aggression pact. I mean, that would be nice, but I'm going to hold out to when we can sweeten the pot for some trade. He's not going to just hit me. He's probably not going to just hit me. Throg attacks our settlement, and we lose it. Rosier, say, sorry, you noticed there's something apparently wrong with my hair follicles. Yes, you are very astute. You must have studied long in your medical schooling to be able to notice this. I'm pretty sure that there is a Nobel Prize in medicine awaiting you. Alright, so they're in terrible shape, Garagrim is. If I don't get there, like, immediately, they might just lose. How quick can I get there? Do I abandon my own lands to help the Slayer King? Yes I do. How quick can we get there? We can march. You know, it's not going to be quick. But if we can, you know, if we get our walls up, we can probably just defend here. Not like actually defend, but in auto battle defend against all of our foes. You know, an alliance with Boris wouldn't be, like, terrible, but it also wouldn't work. Because I'm basically abandoning my land, but don't tell the Karaz Ankor. Look, we are trying to save dwarfdom here. Like, we are sacrificing the northern realms to our great shame. So we can just, like, run out of, you know, our free money, essentially, here. But with better walls, we'll be okay. And even if, you know, worst comes to worst, we'll be down here in no time. And as soon as we get these Karaks, then we're talking. We just need to... Oh yeah, they're in the middle of a wall right now. So Azayag's got 20 guys rolling deep with them. That's the thing about... That's the thing about the orcs. When they go, they are really, really hardcore. But at least Zufbar is still lasted. They're a minor dwarf faction there. They don't have, like, any legendary lords associated with them that are in the game. But, fortunately, I have a somewhat decent computer, so it spins through the end turn. You know, the game starts with like 250 major and minor factions on the map, so it takes a little while sometimes to get things going. But man, we are so far away from the Karak. This does have the benefit, though, of having us in march stance for several times in a row. This is an element that will get you a trait called Campaigner that gives you a like increase to your movement permanently, which is it's just super excellent, right? And of course, we're not building any buildings with the airship while we're moving, but we are, you know, pumping those numbers way up. So... But hopefully, Grom Peak will stand. Hopefully, we'll be able to help out everybody. Ah, yeah. So right here, you know, we could defend this, but we would probably lose. So we're just gonna auto battle it. You know, we've got our people inside and our defenders, and now we just hit auto resolve, and it doesn't matter. They totally die. We'll get the Throg killing trait for this guy, and you know, a little bit of experience for everyone, and free money. Which is always nice when you can provoke them into attacking one of your towns like that. But yeah, so he gets weapon strength and bonus first large 15. And boom, there we go. We now have the dream, the talisman of preservation, with the researching of that thing. So we have to, before we get much further with any researching, we're going to need more oath gold, right? But, so what we need to do is just make contact with more people, see more what's going on. Alright, yeah, so they're like, they don't even like me that much, even though we're both dwarves. They're about to like me a lot more. You know, they're about to, like, feel like we're total bros. You know, this guy might come in and defeat us, and if he does, then, you know, we'll lose the hold. What are you gonna do? And yeah, we'll just push all the way up in. And it won't matter that they know that we're coming for them, because we'll hit this Karak, and then we'll just move up and start bashing all of them. And hopefully this Lord will be able to get away with it. Now we could, like, put some adventure units into him and make it more certain that we could get it. But I don't feel like it. I don't want to use our grudge quarrelers there. But hey, speaking of, it looks like we're about to get a good grudge again for this era. Which is excellent, because, you know, like, when you get your special units, you don't want to worry too much about losing them. I'm hoping we get the March trait. I don't know how many turns in a row it is in March stance. This has been several, because it's about to be fight, 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 fight for Malakai here. I hope we can hit Garagrim from this angle and then go up to Karaz Ankor. Hey, there we go. We get another close victory. Amazing. We make more money. We get more oath gold. This is what it means to be a dwarf. And while we could defend, first of all, I'm bad at doing siege defenses. I don't think they're fun. And I don't, you know, ever do them. Okay, so Garagrim is all the way up here. He's all the way up here. Well, that's okay. It'll take him a little while to get back to the crew. That's just how it goes. Yeah, we're gonna move closer. You don't want to leave one of their places totally in the back. Like, that's just a route to failure and despair, right? And we'll just hold off on recruitment right now, because we're probably gonna drop a Slayer Pirate or two to go for our Goblin Hewers. But right now we want to get... Alright, so we can either get Gyrocopter recruitment here, or Siege Weapon recruitment here, or... I think this is better, yeah. We'll just... Yeah, so... Yeah, next turn we'll be able to get, like, permanent Spirit of Grungi in the battle. That's gotta be better, right? It's gotta be. Oh, we can still get the artillery thing also. Excellent. That's right, because it's already taken care of. Dalton really wants us to fight his enemies, and we're like really not going to do it. But, you know, if we could just keep that one dwarf lord at home there, holding down the fort, as it were, which makes sense, like there should be somebody in charge of a hold. The fact that we have shamefully lost the other ones, look, we didn't start with those. We picked them up off of some Norskins earlier, so do we want less control plus leadership? Yeah. Plus, it smashes the enemy. Alright, and now our foes will know what it means to fight the Dawis. Kistalton refuses to join our side, probably meaning that he breaks the compact. And we're just going to throw this on our Doomseekers, and that'll give them fire resist. And a hex to attack around us. We're just going to automatically do this, because It would not be a challenging fight in any means. But yes, and there we go. We have completed a quest. We're gonna take that one. And this one we're gonna drop a Slayer Pirate. Does Chaos Undivided exist in fantasy? Yes, absolutely. So you in fantasy you have each of the god factions. If you're familiar with Warhammer, if you asked him those words, so I'm sure you are. You know, Khorne and Nurgle and Slaanesh and Tzeentch. They all have a demon faction, and they have a Warriors of Chaos faction aligned with them. And then there's Chaos Undivided, who's principally represented by a guy called Archaon the Everchosen, who you can see here to the right with the burning eyes. Archaon the Everchosen is very heavy metal. You can think of him as sort of the sort of like the Abaddon equivalent-ish. It's not a good link, but anyway, so yeah. And then there's a couple other lords that are Chaos Undivided as a faction for the Warriors of Chaos, rather than being Nurgle Warriors of Chaos aligned. And they're a lot of fun. They are very strong to play in campaign. They're a hoot. All right, so we're going to see, what do we want here? We're going down to get Lightning Strike. Wallbreaker's bad. Miner's Instinct is good. Gotrek, we're going to take Hardened Adventurer. Felix, we're going to take this Charmed Attacks, Growth in Local Province. I mean, yeah, you know, he's a lady killer. But I'm just thinking that Iron Fist, because we're going to, like, bro out so hard by bashing into all of these greenskins, that he's going to be, like, real cool with us soon. And we've already got Missile Block and Missile Block Chance 360 for our gyros because of doing this. How do we get Vanguard for them? Fight the Convoy Army. Where's the Convoy Army? It is right across the way there. Well, that's not so bad. Yeah, we could just, like, go in and then, like, under the mountain burrow. Be nice. Yes, fight like a slayer, die like a slayer. Indeed, buddy. Couldn't have said it better. Alright, yeah. So Kostalton, he breaks the pact, but we're still, like, on good terms. Hopefully he won't, like, you know, turn his back on us and go attacking, you know, after all the broing we did. But, you know, you can never be sure. He's doing well in the mountains there. He's still at war with Throg, so, you know, he's still going to be fighting our enemies. But no, Chaos Undivided, the Archaon campaign, that's one of the ones that I play all the time. So Chaos, you can force vassalize your opponents often by taking specific things. Like, there'll be, like, Barbarian Norska is the name of the faction, but they're basically like Chaos Barbarians in the Wastes. And if you take over a specific building or defeat them in battle, then you can, like, make them your vassals and they have to fight for you. And that gives you a huge web of defense for, like, wherever you want to go, where if anybody wants to fight you, you're in motion, you're a horde. The other fun thing is that they recruit often due to, like, the dark magics of the area, you know, or, like, the corruption gives rise to the unit. So you don't even have to go home. Like, even if you lose almost everything, you can just, like, raise up the whole army like you're a vampire lord. It's pretty sweet. Clan Angrun got Karakern. Wow! Good for them. Speaking of the legendary lords, alright, how is everyone? Ungrim Iron Fist has one settlement left. But if they can hold, and Ungrim's got a full army here, and now, you know, Azog the Slaughterer, he's like a vampire-touched orc chieftain. He's all business. He's bad news. But now with us attacking his northern flank, hopefully it's going to distract him enough to where our Slayer buddy will be able to live. Do we want to drop a Slayer Pirate for a single gyro here? I don't think so. Because there's a fair amount of times where you would probably want a couple of powder units that are hardy on the flank there. But Garagrim, you know, he's making his way back home. Boris, like, look, I would love to be able to help him out. He's just, you know, what would be the point? After all, Kislev has shown themselves faithless lately, and dwarves can't really tell the difference between Kislev factions. They can't tell the difference between anyone that's not a dwarf. They're still mad about this incident where somebody's beard got cut off a really long time ago. The Bone Rattlers fail. Bone Rattlers. Wa failed, which is excellent. That means they did not beat their enemy's capital and burn it to the ground. And that also means they won't have that extra army. So I should hopefully be able to save them. But yeah, we're just going to... So, if we turn our back too long here, we're going to assume that Drika, that's the name of this Wood Elf faction, that Drika's going to turn around and punch us in the face. But... like, can I give him Karak Raziak? No. Because I don't need, like, this specific area. I would prefer to have this one here that's further down. So we might just give this whole northern expanse to him, in which case we should just start building Oathgold. And if we move fast, we should be able to get away with all of this. Making the magic better. And there's enough building slots for you to get every single building. We're going to save for the level 4 one here, I think. And we're going to start disabling those notifications because they are no longer important. And I think we're pretty close to being able to do another one of the special missions, so... Yeah, they definitely are Chaos Undivided. The not being specialized, it's very nice in the campaign because they get technology basically and boon access from all of the gods, which if you stack it a specific way can get to be like pretty cool. Hey, a trade offer from our Dowie relatives. Wonderful. And they're even paying us for the honor of it. Belagar Ironhammer, King Under the Mountain. We will restore him to his rightful home if it's the last thing we do. Because there's like, hey, and we get a complete grudge again. Yes! Strike him from the book. We enter a new age. And that means, of course, that we get grudge armies. Just one by the faction leader. Just one. But that's going to help, you know. Not that we are expecting trouble here, but... So he's got, you know, an army of these units. They're very strong. It's more of like a... they could support us thing. But, you know, if he moves forward there and... and is able to take the land. Oh man, Garagrim, he's going to be behind us this whole time. He'll catch up eventually. But I think we're going to be able to save our Dawi relatives, and that makes me feel so good indeed. And we're just going to get a couple Oath Gold buildings down. We really need to start our Oath Gold building. Do they have other perks other than being efficient? They have amazing technology and really, really heavily armored troops. They're very high leadership. I would say they aren't actually that efficient, and that it's difficult to get them going typically. This dwarf faction has a ton of perks. He is like a mad engineer. They travel around in a giant airship, so they get like recruitment no matter where they are from the airship. It also shows up in battle and drops bombs on people. It's super great. But yeah, so there are two very technologically advanced races in the old world. They are the dwarves and the Skaven. The Skaven are rat people, and they are insane. They have nukes. They have all sorts of like poisonous, explosive stuff. Their stuff doesn't work so good, right? Skaven don't care if Skaven perish while they're using Skaven weapons. That's not like a problem for Skaven. Dwarf engineering is supposed to be safe. It's based on tradition, and doing things the right way. That's actually why Malakai Makaisen has this red hair cut into a crest. That is the Slayer crest. You see it on these Slayers as well. The Slayers are... they brought dishonor on themselves. We don't necessarily know how. We often are never told. But we need to get this Talisman of Preservation on Gotrek. 18% ward save. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. So they take the oath, and basically they're supposed to go and seek their death in battle gloriously. Ooh la la. No! Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to put this on Felix at the expense of his sword. Yeah. Wait, no, it doesn't work? Sundering attacks doesn't work because of Charmed? That is awful. Well, that's too bad. Man. All right, don't take this ability. It shuts you out of cool other things. All right, well, we can put it on her. That's fine. It's better than her thing, because Sundering's fine. This trait Executioner, that's very rare. It's only on like this one character I know about. And basically, once you see a single entity below 20% around you, then you can just hit them there. But Armor Sundering will be good for her ranged and stuff, so at least it's not like wasted. All right. All right, so we're going to continue siege there. Now, what we can do, we'll move out of stance here, right? Into the thing. We'll be able to reinforce. Now, oh, never mind. There's not a siege attacker in their army. Well, we're not going to be able to get away with that. However, that's okay. We take the sediment. And we've gotten some more adventure access. We should probably start one of these. We should probably start the one with the coolest sounding stuff. Yeah, we'll take the flame cannon because we've already got flame cannon ones. And yeah, the elves will be likely closer to our problems than the other ones, probably. Alright, how do we get better flame cannons? Okay, all we have to do is get kills, and then we'll get dig in. Awesome. Seems good. We're gonna drop... Drop what for Garagrim? A Slayer? A Pirate? I mean, not the Thunderer. Right? I mean, we never do any good with them, though. We'll just get, like, the Regiment of Renown one. You know, maybe the Thunderer, that's for a different style, right? We're Slayer mode. That's right. We'll just go with that. And now we actually got, like, a little bit of Oath Gold going. We really wasted a lot of Oath Gold time, but some other stuff, yeah, so other dwarf perks I forgot to mention. Yeah, they have a couple of amazing abilities. Military access, yes. Trade, yes. So, they have the Oath Gold Forge, and that allows you to buy special items and character boosting runes from this screen. So the ones that are purple here, the epic ones, you can only buy one of, but all these other ones you can get as many as you need. So there's like this one here that gives you regeneration of HP. There's a bunch of really, really good stuff. In the Forge. And then they've got special abilities to confederate their other erstwhile allies. You've got to get more grudges than they do, but looks like Zufbar fell, but it also looks like we should be able to defend Karakadrin, and that just makes my heart so good. Silver Pinnacle, is that a... do I remember that? Yes. Alright, so there actually is a special thing to go here and to take this town and build it up to be able to build this item. And I guess maybe there's something else attached there. But, you know, we'll see what's going on with that. Good stuff. Grishnak Slayer. Yeah, so right now, due to all of the movement stacking things we've had, Malakai moves 100 and 155 movement points, whereas a normal army, you know, has like 100, and I think the other army moves further because he's close around to me. But anyway, we're just going to get this Miner's Instinct. We're going to take Orc Slayer since we are fighting them, and that'll be really nice. Prodigious Swordsman for attack and melee defense. We take magical reserves for capacity. And yeah, just keep on trying to get Garagrim in better shape. We're only now starting to get our characters to like their real potential. They're very powerful, but you know, we've been not neglecting them. It's just you know, it's been slow going on account of how many priorities we've been trying to work with. But as soon as we take this Nashrak Slayer and we can give it to Karakadrin. Oop, we're about to lose Karak Raziak there. But Barakvar wants a trade agreement, and that's excellent, you know. All the Dwarfen holds should be together in friendship. But, you know, we might lose these areas, but at least Alexei here will be, you know, against our foes. Because the really important thing is just that we can win this. Nice. Alright, and we activate another... We can get 2 more of these final battles. Man, I don't know. Don't know if we even win this one against the Chaos Dwarves. But we are going to be able to immediately get down and take Fallen King Mountain, and I don't think this Spitebacker is even close enough to help him out. They're not. Yeah, I think we just auto-resolve in, right? I mean, we could do the fight. I mean, yeah, I mean, why not? Why not do the fight, right? It'll be a quick little thing. Like, I feel like we've been auto-resolving a lot in a row now. It won't be interesting, of course. There's nobody in this whole place that presents a threat to us. Which is fine, you know. Sometimes you want to party. Sometimes you just want to party. Oh, it's a super dark map. Alright, we'll go on to this side where the shadows aren't. Oh, there's not even... Oh. Right. So there's not even a wall. Oh, it's like a minor settlement battle. Got it. I'm like, there's not even a wall. We haven't actually seen one of these yet. I don't think they have them in, like, Norska and the other places. So, basically, these are like sieges, but even easier because you don't have to worry about going to a wall first. And you don't have to worry about them flanking you, essentially. And these guys don't have any flyers, so we're just gonna absolutely throw a murdering on. All of these dudes are gonna come to the front. We're just gonna drop a fat pit of shades right in the middle of them. Look at the carnage! And this is what it looks like when the Dowie go to war with vampire support. You know, they have nothing. It's, But here, let's see how AI goes. So if I tell them to attack these guys on the barricade, what will they do? Some of my men will try to go all the way around. Felix will try to attack the people on the barricade. How? By going this way, around the barricade. If you tell them to physically attack the barricade, they'll go, but not if you tell them to attack the people on the barricade. But the thing is, of course, when you're a wizard, so if your enemy clumps up like this, their life is, like, over. Because you just drop this massive spell on top of them, and then you use your force multiplying abilities to just absolutely roll over them. But anyway, this is what you expect to happen in a battle where you, like, you know, vastly overpower your foes. But even worse here because, well, this is a very, very punishing army. This is not an army that, you know, just fights fair a little bit. This is an army with several pieces that do catastrophic damage to their foes. And you see the dwarves running around, very heavy metal. These are their slayers. They got tattoos. They got sick mohawks. They carry axes in either hand. Some of them are a little bald like me, but they still have great beards. You know, that guy would have a crest if he was entitled to more hair, but he's not. And no one can get more hair than they're entitled to. That's the law. But we're just going to finish up here. Won't take too long, I wouldn't think. But yeah, you know, this is how the sausage is made. And then you drop in the Spirit Grungi, which I guess gives everybody, you know, their energy back. Is that how it works? Yes, it is. Like, how have they not given up yet? Who is still fighting? All right, there we go. Anyway, so there's a minor settlement battle. That's what it looks like when you dramatically overweigh your opponents. Because, yeah, it's 15 guys, but it's a bunch of low-level archers, which the greenskins don't have high-level archers, not as such. Not really. They've got poison stuff. They've got access to stuff that's like punchier maybe or stronger, but you know they don't have as many options as a lot of other factions do. The greenskins are great, but that's just not one of their specific tools. And we get a potion of healing, which is awesome. We're gonna put it on Garagrim because he seems to be the one that takes more damage than Gotrek does. We're going to take Elf Slayer for the final one of those things. We're going to take Blade Shield over HP. Yeah, probably. Or just pure damage over HP. I mean, that's good too. Nah, we'll take Blade Shield. Arcane Conduit, which makes us a conduit for the winds of magic, allowing us to become stronger, better, and faster. So we give him Nashrak Slayer for Military Alliance and 3,000 coins. Hooray! And I think we're just going to give him all of these other ones too. Oh yeah, he'll give us 8 grand for that one. Excellent. How rich are you? Alright, he's out of money. We're going to give him this one, even though it's about to be taken away. But, you know, this also, like, we're showing respect here, right? These are all his lands. So, like, the fact that we know they're about to fall to this guy is immaterial. We have restored, ownership to the rightful dwarf. And we're gonna keep on moving down here and dealing with our foes. It's important that a dwarf run it, you know? And we've got over 300 Oath Gold again, which means we're going to be able to buy another very good item. I'm not sure what it'll be. I think I saw something about heat-seeking artillery ammunition, though. Not for grudge units, but for other ones. So we'll put that on some cannons, and that should be very nice indeed. Azak Slaughterer probably can't crack Karakidrin overnight, but he might be able to, for all we know. Where was he even hiding at, you know? Skraga Spritebeggar. So this guy has made a mistake. He tried to get away, but he can't go far enough away. I can run too far, and that's what 150 movement speed can do. Oh, he could run away. Well, I thought he couldn't run away. He could run away. But it looks like... My goodness. This is bad news. Karaz Ankor has fallen? And Garagrim is under threat of a Wa. Well, you know, it's not all sunshine and roses when Barak Var's still alive, even at turn 35, I guess. But hey, we've got a couple of the dwarf holds here. playing rationally compared to how uncanny faction act. Yeah, well, the dwarves specifically, so because Malakai is a slayer, like, his oath is to, like, redeem himself and seek his doom, right? And I've got Gotrek and Felix here, and they're the same. So it sort of frees you to roleplay stuff like giving away your gains, which you would not normally expect to see. Do we get this, or do we go to level 4? I think we go to level 4. Yeah, because that'll let us get the better artillery anyway. Because, like, the core of Malakai's character is not that he wants to even restore the Karaz Ankor, like my goal is, you know, like as a lover of the dwarves, you know. He seeks redemption. He wants people to think that he's right. He wants to be forgiven for his past mistakes. And he can never ask for that. He can only attempt to achieve. And so the things that we would think of as normally motivating a dwarf in universe, the satisfaction of grudges, the acquisition of wealth, the honoring of your specific hold. These are not part and parcel of the Slayer experience. And that is what drew me to this. You know, like, a dwarf horde campaign can only really work with a guy like Malakai who seeks redemption in a way that he can't ever even beg for. Because, you know, pride is the defining characteristic of a Warhammer dwarf. They can't help it. It's who they are. But, yeah, so we're gonna, you know, because now that we're allied with Karak Kadrin, we can just give them everything that we run into. And if we get down to help the High King, which he's still got a few lands, he's beset on all sides. But if we just get down there, which we're going to do, like, pretty quick. I need to clear the orcs out of this side, or they're going to be a thorn in us the whole time. We'll probably do that, zoom over here, and swing around. I don't know. Probably. But I don't think they'll get rid of Thorgrim in the next, like, 5 turns, which means I can save him too. And if we can save those guys, I mean, like, so there are 6 legendary lords. Grombrindle, who's, like, over in Nargothrond, Warhammer North America with the Dark Elves and stuff, I think. Belegar, Thoric, who's doing fine, he's got 8. And then Ulgrim. So Ulgrim Iron Fist here, the Slayer King. Belegar here in these mountains. And then, you know, we've got Barakvar that's minor. Zufbar was minor here. They're gone. But if we can get them, like, they're all still alive and in decent-ish shape. So if we can preserve them, like, that's awesome, because we'll be able to restore the Karaz Ankor. Because these grudges, for the legendary ones, they don't say that you have to have the province. They say that a dwarf faction has to have the province. And, you know, that's the important thing. But what we're going to do now is realize I could have been saying all of these words while we were waiting for the next turn to happen. Oh well, what are you going to do, right? We're going to carry on that way towards Deadly Onslaught, a very nice ability. It looks like our foes up here have largely gotten bored with trying to attack us. Oh, Kislev absolutely tuned them up. So up here, while we were away, Kostelton pushed Throg back. And Katarina is doing fine. Of course, the Dawizar are pushing down, and, well, you know how we feel about the Dawizar. You might not. Dawizar, that's, they're the Chaos Dwarves. They are a great shame upon the Dwarven people. It's not even commonly known that they exist, you know, and we are going to call our allies to help. If you call your allies to help in a war, and they don't help, they cease to be your ally. So you never want to call them if someone that you know they like a lot declared on you, or if it's somebody crazy powerful that you think they'll be afraid of. Hey, here we go. they're trying to move through. We are not going to automatically do this because we're just going to we're gonna unga bunga it. Look. So underground interceptions, they take place in like this very narrow corridor. Sometimes you'll have like high ground and you can just absolutely rain chaos on them. Sometimes you have it just like this. So we're just not going to even bother deploying any of our dudes, really. We're going to put the Goblin Hewer right there. Because there's nowhere to flank, right? The edge of the map is right there. There is absolutely nowhere for them to go that'll get them away from us. And they're in for the worst trouble. Just the absolute worst. I've been Spirit Leeched. Apparently I'm in for the worst trouble. Spirit Leech is that spell that's on me there. It's a direct damage spell. It is better used against single entities. The more entities in a unit, the worse it is. These little guys are called Mangler Squigs, and we are about to absolutely roast them. Look at the damage! But anyway, these are like the biggest, baddest things they have. But we need kills with the flame gun for this quest. But you know, sometimes you just want to do a match, even though there's no chance you'll ever lose it, for the glory of it all. And that's what we're doing here. Because often, you know, you'll do a fight if you think it'll be interesting, or you think it'll be fun, or you think it'll be difficult. But I think it's very normal for people to not do every little fight if they think they'll be too easy. And it's probably pretty normal for people to do what I often do and avoid a fight also if I think it'll be too hard. We're going to go ahead and drink our health potion. Gotrek goes up to 65 speed when you pop those things. That's pretty sweet. And he's going to beat the brakes off of this troll here. Look at her. Look at her with her sack of meat. She's running. She won't get away. Swiggity swooty. Gotrek is coming for it. Hit him. Hit her. Hit her, Gotrek. So this is haggard as anything, right? You know, the game likes to have you chase a person off the battlefield and not even swing. Get her, Gotrek. Get her, Gotrek. Oh, sorry, I was like, will they ever play Spitsilk 1993 or Revenge of the Blood Angels? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks like Gotrek is just going to chase her off the battlefield and not get any hits. Alas, so there's the Executioner thing, which is on her, and I guess... Yeah, so the blue marker happens, and then the health just goes away. I don't know how it works. But, yeah, I'm not sure, Mohammed, if I'd play those games. I don't own them already. I do love Warhammer. You know, I have models myself, and, you know, not fantasy models. You know, I only started playing like 8 years ago. Alright, do we take the Oath Gold? I mean, 19 or getting all the Slayers back. Yeah, we take the Oath Gold, because those Slayers are going to come back overnight anyway, right? Right. But you know, I really, really like Warhammer, and I definitely want to play more of my Warhammer games in my catalog. There's a CRPG called Rogue Trader that came out not too long ago. I picked that up in a Humble Bundle. I got a Bolt Gun just the other day. So I'm excited about that. All right, so it looks like the Skaven are actively going for Thorgrim. Do I have time to deal with the Bone Rattlers first? I don't know. I think we have to do it, because this way, look, we're going to be in with Skaven if we go this way, but if we go this way, we'll be able to deal with Azog, knock him all the way out of this lower level, and then hopefully Ungrim can deal with the Azog on the top. Yeah, I think that's better. And then we'll be able to swing around to this side and restore the Karaz from this angle, hopefully. Hopefully. It looks really rough. It looks really rough indeed. But we've got to level 30, which is awesome. We're going to get rid of one of these Slayer Pirates because I know what happens at level 30. At level 30, you get... Or not 30, 27, yeah. Nora Grimleen's Iron Breakers. So Iron Breakers are heavy metal. They throw grenades. They have huge armor. They got massive melee defense. Nobody can run them down. They are hardcore. And these have Vanguard deployment. So we'll be able to, if we want, stick out a very powerful unit of Iron Breakers that'll be able to support our guys. And also, I'm like, we should get rid of these normal Slayers for the special ones. Boom. Alright, now we've got the Brotherhood of Grimnir, the special Doom Seekers, and we've got the special Slayers. So we've got, you know, we could have got some of these a little while ago, but now we've got a much more distinct and powerful set of people here. We could also, I mean, like, we could get basically all of them in our walk-around crew, because it would be better to have these Slayer Pirates than these normal ones, right? Obviously. It would be better to have these flamethrower guys. Oh yeah, they have like armor-piercing flamethrowers. Hysterical. Anyway, the final one is a squadron of like elite gyro bombers, which is super good. But anyway, we're just gonna hold off a bit for all of that, I guess, and then we'll make this pasture so it'll be a nicer place for the dwarves when we sell it. And I think hopefully Ungrim can deal with all of the other problems if we can deal with these. Hopefully. And of course, we're not going to even get penalties for trespassing doing this. But I think, man, it's 9:50. The hour gets late. I think what we're going to do is round this video out with one final legendary fight. And I think we'll do the green skin one, because we actually haven't fought a single time against Chaos Dwarfs, so it just makes more sense. Alright, yeah. And to get further up, we have to spend this Oath Gold on one of these things. What we want to do is... I mean, we do have an Iron Drake. Thunderers and Slayer Pirates. I mean, like... I almost want to take this one because it could go to Slayers. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Or take this one for great weapon, melee infantry units. I guess it doesn't apply to hammers. That's alright. You know, you gotta get something. Alright, so. So the Spirit of Grungi won't disengage in battle. Let's do a fight. Alright, so against the goblins. Goblins monstrosity. And we'll get an extra spear usage out of the Grungi, which is great. That's a very powerful ability. And we'll get poison attacks and stock for slayers, which is good too. Alright, so we have night goblins. That's a lava Ragnarok spider. It looks like we're just going to be fighting normal greenskins. Alright, so there's two greenskin armies. We've got this one. So a lava Ragnarok spider is, an armor-piercing anti-large fighter. And they have, right, I was like, that's right. They have a Mortis Engine effect. So an AoE drain, like our Rune of Spite, Master Rune of Spite on Gotrek does. But we won't be letting that lava Ragnarok spider get in with the rest of our guys. We'll be shooting it from the air or whatever. They don't have an air force. They've got some skirmishers and stuff. But at 170 range on the troll hammers, we're going to be able to get some out of that. So most quest battles in Warhammer go a specific kind of way, where basically you have beginning armies you fight them for a while, and then a big battle show up. They'll either come with a big army, or it'll be a big old beastie monster, or an enemy with an escort or whatever. They're not all like that, but they tend to be. And we're going to assume that, watch yourselves, the brood mother is a monstrous beast for sure. When we put her down, the glory will all be ours. He doesn't really talk like a pirate, but I don't have a Scottish accent, I don't have one in the bank. Stay sharp, lads. We're not alone. I smell the stench of goblins up ahead. No matter, though, because our hewers will make short work of them. Short? Steel yourselves, lad. Our quarry is close now. Alright, so basically we've got two armies to fight, and then we'll expect a big bad to show up eventually. So we're going to figure out which army has less range, which is this one. And that's what we're going to beat up on. We're going to keep the Hewer in reserve. This thing does like 5,000 damage every 10 seconds. It's very strong. It only has a little bit of ammunition, but we won't need a lot of ammunition, right? Because it's got super short range. It's only going to be stuck in on what we want it to be stuck in on. We're going to put Gotrek and Felix up ahead a good bit. Brotherhood of Grimnir in the back line. And we're going to have the Iron Breakers right there. Seems fine. Yeah, seems fine. Yeah, these Snotling Pump Wagons, oh yeah, they barely shoot any ranged anyway, so we're going to be able to just get this Great Shaman and nuke it with the torpedoes, I think will be the play. Helping Hand to start, Karagol on, Slippery and the Rune Axe on. Brutal stuff. And then the Iron Breakers just absolutely melting them here. Alright, and it says hatchlings are approaching. We do have the other army coming out at us, of course. We're going to put everything into guard mode. So that will stop stuff from running too far away from where we are. That is like a big risk if you're me. And bad. Alright, so The spider is coming in here. This is potentially a troubling thing, but if we get the cannons on it, and we'll get this hewer on it, we've got all of our range, the spiders are on it. Now, it's going to be draining our dudes, but if it's sitting there for long enough, and it's basically already long enough, it's not going to be able to do anything. Spider hatchling scurrying from the north. Our army is very, very good at killing their army. Oh yeah, the Arachnarok already in the dirt. We're gonna go ahead and pull back our air force now that their ranged units are here. And boom, enemy reinforcements. All right, there's the big one. The Broodmother coming in from the south. Of course, we're just gonna be able to turn our cannons in that direction and put the heat on. We're gonna run the Goblin Hewer right at it. We're gonna run. We're gonna run our biggest and baddest in the direction. We're gonna have Malakai shooting. We're gonna have everybody shooting at this Mash Beard Taker Broodmother. They're not gonna be able to do anything. We're gonna drop a steaming, a hot, a magnificent airship upon our foes. We're gonna drop a pendulum right there. They're not gonna be able to do a dang thing about it. We're gonna shoot. Yeah, this the Hewer is already in action. The Broodmother is already down to like 1,000 hit points. Oh, the humanity. Well, that wasn't too tough, was it? You know, our army is very good now. The addition of these Norgrimlings Ironbreakers, these guys are raid bosses. They've got a ton of hit points, right? They've got 1,150 total hit points, whereas, you know, like a normal infantry unit has, you know, like 8k or whatever, 8,400. It just depends. But, boom, put it in the bank. A clean battle with very little damage put onto any of our forces. But of course, greenskins are cowards. They have low leadership. They run fast. So if you can get their line to start buckling, it'll keep buckling. And if you can keep the pressure up, and of course, our army, uniquely suited to dealing with that army almost. You know, we had the damage from the skies. We had the damage on the ground. Gotrek and Felix, you know, punched some people. The Ironbreakers got a bunch of value. You know, there wasn't a lot of value to go around. It was a bunch of the cannons got some. Those, you know, these brimstone guns don't really do so good for us. Maybe we'll chop them. But, bam. Goblin's Monstrosity completed. We get our Arachnarok trophy. And our skills keep on going up. We'll take a Purebird and an Iron Will. This like makes his HP go up a ton after battles. He's unlikely to ever go down. And then when you get to level 3 Lightning Strike, that's when you can make your opponents not back up their allies, which is excellent. Can we get to Zufbar in time? No, we cannot. But we can get our level 4 airship. Hey, Natasha. You caught me right at the end. But a very successful time. We haven't lost our home hold, and we did a couple of the legendary fights. We just finished one up. It went very, very well. Almost too well. No, it didn't go that well. Alright, now we can get... What? Armor and defense for Lords and Heroes, and attack and weapon strength. That is freaking awesome. And then we can get our artillery boosted right afterward, which is just what we'll do. He'll take 500 oath gold. We'll have to find a way to get it. But, you know, we're just giving him all these settlements, and if he can't deal with that, you know, he can't deal with it. But I think Ungrim is going to go up and be able to take Karaz Ankor here before too long. And that means when we go down here and eliminate him, we're going to eliminate his faction. And that means we should be able to sweep down and restore the holds to the High King also. And now we're at level 4, so we can go ahead and get all of these to level 4. Losing a lot of money, but look, once you have the ship's abilities there, then they're there forever, I think. And, you know, then you're good, I think. More weapon strength for Gotrek. More defense for Felix. Miscast away. And then, yeah, we're going to start taking these things, because Dancing Blade is 15-meter hex that makes her a lot more resistant and hurts her enemy. Good deal. And then, yeah, we've got some other benefits for the army potentially there. So that'll be very nice indeed. Yeah, 15% spell resist for the whole army. That's awesome. But here we go. Slayer Oath. We finally got Garagrim up to here. So we can get him Dutiful Leader, and that'll make our Slayers cheaper. Or we take this one first, and they become better. Man, how nice is that? And, oh. It'll give him a 55-meter magical attack imbuement with damage and AP damage. So, freaking sick. And of course, now we're getting all the stacking buffs going on, right? We're going to be supercharging all of the people in our army. So we're going to be having like a Slayer that would be normally good, and then they're going to have 30 or 40% more weapon damage than they ought to have. And as I talked about the other day, this is where you run into issues with balancing. We're going to put the Arachnarok trophy on these guys, and now they'll have poison and they won't be able to get shot at. Yeah, awesome. And then we'll give some AP to these. The problems that I mean are that you can get so outsized in power that if you're not like fighting sort of cartoonishly overpowered enemies, then it can be very boring. So if we get like entirely boosted Slayers, we could just get a whole army of them and like move forward and attack essentially, and think that we could basically win any army fight. Now we'd probably still keep some artillery and, you know, blah 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 blah, but it is definitely possible to get enough faction and lord and hero benefits. It's not common. It's actually, you can't do it like with every hero and stuff, but this faction is definitely stacking up the benefits. And we now have the Gyro Bomber Squadron unlocked, which means we're going to get rid of this last Slayer pirate. No, we're going to get rid of the Gyrocopter Brimstones. I don't believe in them. Gyro Bombers are super strong. And the Skyhammer Squadron can fire while they're moving. I don't know if they all can, but they can. And they drop these amazing bombs. They have 5 of them. And they can just absolutely lay waste. And so there we go. Fear is here trying to block up things. We're going to declare war, not call allies to help, so that they're not mad about it. You know, we don't want to give them the opportunity to break a military alliance over this thing that we're just going to win. Boom, boom. Couple of shotgun shells to the face. Take our oath gold, take our money. And be able to swing in here just in time. And I guess, there we go. We have, through these auto things, we have gotten better flame cannon things. So now they will dig in. They'll get 40% range after 25 seconds, which means they're going to be able to sit with the cannons and then eventually just start doing as much damage as the cannons. We are going to... take this one because we've got more Skyhammer tie-ins or Gyro Bomber things. Yeah, and that we'll just kill things with Gyro Bombers, and then we will get benefits for them. Seems good. But anyway, that'll just about do it. Like, there's a Brewmaster thing? Ah. It actually is pretty good. But, you know, everything is fine. We still have our land up here, somehow. You know, we're relatively okay about it. The Chaos Dwarves are marching, and behind them... well, behind them is Grimgor Ironhide, which is bad news. He's another green skin. He is a tough cookie, as they say. But it looks like the High King is going to live. Probably. We're going to be able to get over there in just a few days, so Skarsnik is a menace. But if we can get down there and save the High King, then we're going to be in great shape to just roll over the rest of the map. Because if we have two strong legendary-led dwarf factions that we can count on to, you know, hold our flank, and a dwarf will never break their agreement with a dwarf, right? They're not going to turn on us eventually. So that could be excellent. We're just gonna wait here. Man, I was supposed to end this like 8 minutes ago. I really need to pay attention to the fact that I have to work today. Thorm Grudgebearer wants a non-aggression pact, and he shall have one, and a trade agreement. Another good thing about giving all of your stuff away, which again is a negative aspect for most factions, but for this one, so if I give all my stuff away, if we go here and go into ambush mode, we might fool Azag into moving forward enough into getting hit, and if not, we'll just move there and take him. Is that if you have a really big empire, the AI gets mad at you for being popular and cool, right? But if you have like a reasonable small amount of land, the AI is like, you know, let's just let them have it. I should have built that a long time ago. So like they won't say, hey, this guy's got 80 provinces. It'll be like, hey, this guy has strong military allies. But anyway, that we'll wait, and if Azag gets ambushed, then we'll do that fight, and if not, then I guess we will probably end the video. But I mean, it went basically, this run's going as well as I could hope. Sure, we've lost some stuff, and it's not going, like, totally perfectly, and the dwarves are in danger, but they're fine. The dwarves are okay. The Great Orthodoxy is apparently making fun of us. We are going to put it into the book. We're not going to declare war on our old ally, though. Our ambush is foiled, and we're supposed to win against the Counts, but excellently, the High King and Barak Var have joined a confederation, and that means he's going to have all this land down here, which means, you know, he won't get eliminated immediately, and I consider that roughly good. And I'm going, like, right here. I don't care. If they want to come and have a fight with every single buddy in my army, I will do that. Look, I'm not really afraid of this Azog army, right? Nah. He's on a dragon or something, but I don't worry about it. And for a glorious end fight, what could be better? But anyway, we're going to go ahead and save it and end here. And then hopefully Azog will be, you know, feeling the desire for glorious combat, and we will put slaughtering down. But I've got to go. Got to get on with my day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye Thomas. Bye Natasha. Bye Mohammed. Bye Bravo. If you're still here, thank you for your concern about me being bald. Unfortunately, there's probably nothing you can do at this point. You would have to go back in time. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today, and I will be back for something tonight. You know, it'll probably be in like 12 hours or so, but it's possible that I'll be back in just like 4. You know, it's impossible to know what the future will hold. If anybody tells you they can tell the future, don't believe them, and especially don't give them any money. But that's all I've got for you. That's some good advice to end the stream with.